What's up, guys? Welcome back, and we're just gonna get started right away because it is still like 80 plus degrees in here, and I just can't take it. So we're just gonna get started. But yeah, we did change teams. I apologize. Yeah, we were doing well with Mantine. Hit a really bad streak of battles. Like I probably lost like 10 in a row. It was bad, and so I was frustrated. I wanted to change teams. I wanted to counter all the teams that were beating me. So I went with. I was experimenting with Shadow Gardevoir. That's kind of like the theme of this video. So we're going to get started. Even though the team is shown on your screen, it's going to be different from these first two battles, but these are like my bonus battles. I'm putting them in front of the video because they happened first as I was experimenting. So let's just get started. So we have, this is still when we were leading with Mantine. So we still had a Mantine lead, but I was using Gardevoir as like a second Pokemon. Not really necessarily a safe switch because it's only a safe switch if it counters a bunch of stuff, or at least soft counters a bunch of stuff. If a lot of stuff hard counters it, then it's not a safe switch. So I kind of was using it, maybe not the best, because I did switch into it, but that was because they switched to Hypno, so that's why I did that. I had switch advantage. I wouldn't just like randomly switch usually to to Gardevoir, Shadow Gardevoir. But anyways, the Registeel takes the Shadow Ball, which did like half damage. And you see how much damage we do just with one Shadow Ball and the Charms, despite Registeel being a counter. So that was really good. I'm just gonna hold on one second. I'm gonna mute this here real quick. Okay, so sorry, it was playing on my end, and so I didn't want you guys to hear that. Anyways, Solar Beam, we shield it. So that was a really good shield, and our opponent gives up at this point because, yeah, there was not much they could do here. Yeah, we land the Ice Beam again. A lot of people expect Bubble Beam, so that's why Mantine is so awesome. You can land Ice Beam so often. It is such a good move for Mantine. And so yeah, my cat's hanging out here. I was just looking at her. Anyways, Cresselia. You're going to see a lot more of these now that it has Grass Knot. And so if you hit it with a Bubble Beam first, its Grass Knot won't do a ton of damage. Now I'm going to shield here, but you'll see me not shield in the second time. So I'm going to throw actually I'm going for the Ice Beam this time, if I remember correctly. So you see the Grass Knot did just a little bit of damage, especially after our Bubble Beam. It's not that bad. And again, they're not going to shield. They're almost always expecting the Bubble Beam. It's very rare that they shield the Ice Beam after you throw a Bubble Beam first. So they go for the Moonblast, which I just looked up. It has been updated. It has a 30% chance at an attack debuff for your opponent. That's why a lot of people like that move now. So if you can get that, it's pretty nice, but it doesn't always happen, so not something to rely on. But the Grass Knot does take us down, so this is kind of fun. This is where the match gets funny. So we go in with Gardevoir, and they don't have a counter for it. So they come in with Altaria, and I've been in this scenario before, which is why it's funny. But oh man, that was just brutal. That was a quick quit there on their part because they had no chance to win that. We were just going to quick move it down. And so, okay, so that was the first two bonus battles. Now we're going to go into the first, like the set that I'm showing you guys today. The very first battle, I still use Mantine, but you'll see we switch right after this. So the reason I was using Marowak is to kind of cover like the Registeel. I wanted Pokemon that can cover Registeel and other steel types like Skarmory and stuff like that, just because they're like the counters for Gardevoir. So that's kind of why I built that team around the Gardevoir. So we're going to go Ice Beam here. We land, once again, we land the Ice Beam on the Charum. So, and then we take the Solar Beam, but at that point it doesn't matter because we already won this matchup. So sometimes it's good not to leave yourself with a lot of energy because they can just farm you down. And so sometimes you want to make your health lower on purpose. That's a good strategy that I'm not sure if I talked about, but it has been talked about on other videos. Yeah, so other people's channels, but I'll talk about that a different time. But anyways, back to the battle. Here we go with the Mud Bomb. This is definitely not a good Pokemon for us. So you see we lose that match. So I'm like getting really frustrated here. I'm like, okay, changing up the team again. Now we throw in Alolan Marowak, and now you'll see how the kind of like, this is kind of like my development of my thinking, my team building was happening throughout this this set, because these battles are all in chronological order, so you can kind of see how I was adapting and changing my teams. And so we lose. I swear I've been missing a couple charms here and there because of the lag and stuff. I literally mirrored a Gardevoir once, and it beat me by a lot, and we did the exact same thing. Like, I missed a charm or two from the lag. It was really annoying. So anyways, yeah. Anyways, we got, okay, so, and this is another thing. This is another thing. I feel like the minute I change my team to have like a double weakness to ground, I start seeing Whiscashes everywhere. Very, very peculiar. I know a lot of people talk about like an algorithm, like a matching algorithm. I do think it's a little suspect that, I literally, like, the set after this, I ran into Whiscash like 3 more times, and which is weird because when I wasn't running Marowak and Stunfisk, which are both weak to ground, I wasn't seeing Whiscash hardly ever. So yeah, something, I don't know. I'm not buying the whole it's completely random thing. I'm not really buying it. So I don't know. Comment below if you've experienced the same thing. But the reason we were able to win that is because we got the shield bait and we landed a Shadow Ball. If you don't do that, it's really, really hard to beat that Whiscash because it'll just keep spamming Mud Bombs, and it's so hard to win. So yeah, we got lucky with that one. We baited correctly and we hit the Shadow Ball. So now we have Fire Spins, which are super effective against Skarmory, so that's good. And we're gonna go with the Shadow Ball here, and then it's GG. So that was, I mean, that match could have easily been a loss had we not got the shield bait successful on the Whiscash. So next battle, so this should be battle number 3 of the set. We run into a Stunfisk, and this is okay. One of the things you want to know with Gardevoir is which Pokemon you can basically win the matchup without having to like burn too many shields. This one, I don't have a lot of experience yet. I'm still learning it, but I shield just to be careful and just to be safe because I see how much damage Charm is doing. So I know I'm going to win this matchup, and so I'm okay with burning the shields just for now, just to kind of see how it goes. And then Shadow Ball, this should most likely be shielded this time, just because, yeah, getting hit with a Shadow Ball, I don't care how resistant you are to it, it's gonna hurt. So we have Marowak now, and we do Bone Club. They switch into a Deoxys, which is really good. They take the Bone Club. So we're gonna go for Shadow Ball here. It's kind of predictable. I'm expecting them to shield, which I'm kind of regretting doing it. I don't know if you ever had that feeling where you're like, you're doing the move, and you're like, damn it, they're gonna shield this. I know they're gonna shield this. Like, oh, it happens a lot. It's so frustrating. But anyways, so Rock Slide should be the move, but they don't have Rock Slide, it looks like. They have Psycho Boost, which is neutral to Ghost, believe it or not. I thought because Ghost is super effective against Psychic that it would be resistant to Psychic, but it's actually neutral to Psychic, which is why he was saving that Psycho Boost till the end. So here we go. We're gonna get hit with the Flash Cannon. This is gonna hurt like crazy. And so, but we come back in with a Stunfisk. The good news is we resist a lot of the moves from Registeel and Deoxys, and so we should be able to take both of them out with the Stunfisk. So this should be a Focus Blast, and that'll do a big chunk, but we are going to beat it. I overcharge because I know I'm going to beat it to the charge move anyway, so I'd get a couple extra Thunder Shocks in, which is a very good strategy that you should employ. And then the Deoxys, even though we're super close and he's going to throw a Psycho Boost, it's not going to be enough to KO, and we CMP tie. And yeah, so this was a pretty close match, but we got it. So good games there. In fact, if you're still watching, I'm going to put a card up for a battle that I uploaded a video a little while ago, earlier in May, that a lot of you probably haven't seen if you're a new subscriber, but it's a really good battle. It has to do with losing the lead and then kind of coming back to win. So I'm going to put a card up there so you can watch that. It's just one battle, but a lot of learning opportunities in that battle. It's a really good one. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Okay, so we have, again, Whiscash. Where are these Whiscashes coming from? Like, seriously, I'm seeing them everywhere. Once, the minute I put Marowak and Stunfisk together, I'm just seeing Whiscashes everywhere. It's so sketchy. So fishy. Niantic, I do not trust you anymore. Not that I did, but come on. Why are you giving me all these Whiscashes all of a sudden? Not cool. So this is a tough matchup. And it looks like, yeah, I wasn't paying attention, but I think we did land a Shadow Ball because they didn't shield, so yeah. So anyways, Skarmory, I switch in right away because I was expecting the Skarmory to come in. So I switched right away, and I was able to take that Sky Attack. So that was huge. And we're able to farm up some energy because they were slow on the switch. So I was able to get like 2 or 3 Thunder Shocks in. And that was huge because now we can get like an extra charge move against the Azumarill and do even more damage. So that was a good play there. That kind of saved our butt, to be honest. A little notification there from Niantic. Go Fest. Okay, so Azu did shield there finally. And this one will most likely KO just because Shadow Gardevoir is really weak, but we do get 1 extra charm, which was nice because that did a nice chunk. And so now they switch out, but I see the switch out, so I mean I would have gone Thunder Shock anyways, or Discharge anyways. And I'm able to farm this down, I believe. No, it's going to go for the Sky Attack, but I don't think it's going to KO. It is super close, which means we're able to farm it down and then get a Discharge. Another close battle. Like, literally these Whiscashes really made me work for these wins, and it was like super stressful. It would have been way easier if they didn't have a Whiscash, like the majority of the times when I'm not playing with this team. Anyways, ooh man, this is a lead. This is a lead that I like. Okay, this is really, really good. That Toxicroak is melting right before our eyes. They switched to Azu, and our best counter right now is Stunfisk. And so I probably could have stayed in with Gardevoir, to be honest, because that Toxicroak was almost dead anyways. I could have stayed in a little bit more, but I wanted to keep it just in case. I think either strategy would have been fine. So yeah, we're just trying to spam discharges. Every now and then I'll bait with the Mud Bomb because it does take like 5 less energy. And so you can save energy by doing that. Okay, so there you go. So by throwing that Mud Bomb on purpose, like if they didn't shield, we were able to farm it. So if we had thrown a Discharge, we would have killed it, and then we wouldn't have been able to, you know, farm that extra energy. So sometimes throwing Mud Bomb against an Azu is a good move because you want to farm the energy. So, and if they bait and if they shield, perfect. It's a good shield bait. So there you go. All right, so we're in with Marowak. Ground moves are super effective against the Toxicroak, so they're going to shield. And then they're most likely going to counter us, except we get 1 more off. So this was amazing. Fire Spin is 10 energy per Fire Spin, so it generates energy pretty quickly, which is nice. It is a 3-turn move though, so it's not like that fast. But and comment below if anyone, don't feel bad if you don't know what I mean by a 3-turn move. Like if that doesn't make sense to you, comment below and ask me and I'll explain it. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so Meganium super close. Like, geez, this was like the closest set ever. So we go 4-1, but it could have easily been 0-5. Like literally, it was that close. And so yeah, it was, oh man, it was stressful. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick with this team just because literally the next set I saw 3 more Whiscashes at least, and I went 3-2, I believe, in that next set, but it was tough. Like, it was just so tough. I don't know why I'm seeing all these Whiscashes. But if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to go downstairs and cool off now because it's too hot. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.